Hello, crypto fans, and I have a pronouncement for you. It is official. The bull market has officially started. Now, we're not in the parabolic bull run phase yet, but the bull market has officially started. We have evidence. Well, over the last 7 days, you can see on the Bitcoin chart, as Bitcoin is pumping, even though various alts took turns, overall, alts pumped more than Bitcoin. And this is capped today by Ethereum. Look at the 7-day chart. Bitcoin's up 6.20. Ethereum is up 17. Tether doesn't count. It's a stable coin. BNB's up 9. XRP's up 10. USDC doesn't count because it's a stable coin. Look at Solana's up 24. Cardano's up 15. Dogecoin's up 10. Tron, screw Tron. Ton is up 11. Chainlink is up 30. Polygon is up 25. Polkadot's up 12. Wrap Bitcoin's the same thing as Bitcoin. That doesn't count. Litecoin's about up the same amount as Bitcoin. Shiba Inu's up 7. Avalanche is up 11. BCH sucks. Unised Leo is like another exchange coin, but OKB is up 33. Stellar's only up 3, but Cosmos is up 19. True USD is up 0.05 only, but that's a stable coin. Monero's up like 0.97 only because it's kind of like a privacy coin. It kind of operates on its own. Ethereum Classic's up 25. Uniswap is up 12. Kronos is up 26. Lido's up 33. Filecoin's up 12. Caspa is up 81. Hedera's up 10. Aptos is up 13. You know, like most of these coins are far, far up more than Bitcoin. So overall, altcoins have been outgaining Bitcoin for a full week. So that means altcoins are not lagging behind Bitcoin when it goes up. Yes, they do follow Bitcoin on down, but as you can see, they go more parabolic than Bitcoin. And that generally, over any certain length of time, is a signal that the bull market has actually arrived because altcoins are starting to outperform Bitcoin. And you can see Bitcoin dominance going down to 51.2 from about 53, 54. And it's actually been down since the beginning of this month. Fear and greed index is at 77, so we might actually get a small pullback. And I think the next resistance people say is at 42, but I would look at 40 as the psychological resistance right there. So it might pull back to like 35, 33, something like that. That wouldn't be surprising, and alts will fall. So if you want to try to wait for that, you take the risk, but if you want to try to wait for that, I wouldn't blame you. But if you're still hoping for 12 or 10K, that is not going to work. There's not really an economic event that would bring it down that low. And you know, like it's not only the Bitcoin ETF that has people excited, it's the Ethereum ETF now that has people excited. By the way, that's also the reason Ethereum is actually up, because BlackRock has actually filed an Ethereum ETF. Different from when I reported that they registered an Ethereum trust, they actually filed an ETF this time. And I think people expect that to go through as well, although a couple of months after the Bitcoin one, which is why Ethereum is up. And if you guys don't know, ARK Invest is looking at other ETFs for other coins. Now, the other coins won't get their own separate ETFs. They're going to be like bundled together as a large cap ETF, kind of like the one that Grayscale has. So the ones they're obviously looking at to be part of this large cap ETF are obviously like Solana, Cardano, maybe XRP, MATIC, Link, Dot, and those kind of things. I think they're going to bundle like 10 of them into an ETF, and they're going to offer that, which means they'll have to buy those coins as well. Keep an eye peeled on which coins those are. And the thing is, like, I think they are going to wait until the end of the Coinbase case to actually do that, because they want to make sure that the assets that's supporting them aren't securities as well. I'm not exactly sure if that matters for an ETF, because the ETF itself is obviously a security, but the assets backing it may have to not be a security. That one I'm not actually so sure about. I mean, like, you guys can comment on that if you guys know. But I think they might actually wait until the Coinbase lawsuit is actually over. If they're not securities in the secondary market, then when BlackRock or so buys them off the secondary market or OTC to support their funds, they won't be securities as either. And like them holding those assets won't fall under the SEC's jurisdiction. So I think that's kind of what they're actually after right now. But overall, the market actually looks very, very ripe for alts. Would I buy alts right now? I think right now is actually a decent time to switch into altcoins, especially since the Ethereum ETF is coming out, and ARK has actually mentioned that they are looking at other, or like a whole suite of ETF products, and that will mean other coins. So other coins will get that bump just like Bitcoin has. And I think things are just really looking up. because like these alts aren't lagging behind. They're filing up right with Bitcoin. And if you really look at it, like, you know, even from like even really from like several months ago, Bitcoin was already at around 50%, maybe 49%. And right now it's only 51.2. So like we talk about Bitcoin going up in dominance a lot, but it really hasn't increased all that much. We're definitely not going to get like the 70% dominance we actually got last time. That's just not going to happen. Bitcoin's never going to be that dominant again, just like it goes down every single cycle. And I think Bitcoin at around 50, 55 already reached its peak dominance and is starting to come down. A lot of that Bitcoin dominance did have to do with Ethereum underperforming Bitcoin, but now with the Ethereum ETF in play, I do think Ethereum might actually gain some on Bitcoin and eat away at that dominance. Same thing with other coins, especially the other L1s that could possibly take some customers away from Bitcoin because Bitcoin is just getting too expensive to use. Remember, since August, Bitcoin fees have increased 1,000% in terms of use. And of course, some of that is due to ordinals, but others are just due to more transactions on Bitcoin. The more transactions there is on Bitcoin, obviously the more expensive and the slower it is to use. And ordinals would actually be a disaster for that, because if you actually think about it, like each Bitcoin block is only can only store so many transactions. Obviously, all of them are only 1 megabyte, and the more space a transaction takes, the less transactions you can cram per block. Ordinals, unlike other NFTs, actually cram the data for the JPEG in Bitcoin. So if you cram a JPEG along with all your transactions, you pretty much reduce the amount of transactions you can have by half. So Bitcoin might be operating at less than 5 TPS sooner or later. And obviously during a bull run when everyone wants to transact in Bitcoin, that's not going to be enough. And you know, like 1,000%, like maybe if a Bitcoin transaction was only 60 cents then, it's $6 now. $6 might not be too much if you're transferring a lot of money, but as we approach the bull run and it goes up to $60, $600, how many people are actually going to want to use Bitcoin? You know, that transaction price is eventually going to be bidded up. So they are going to be looking to go onto other chains. And I don't really think they're going to care if they're proof of work chains or proof of stake chains or whatever. They just want something that's easier to use. Same thing with Ethereum. You might say like, oh, they're going to go to Ethereum. Not really, because Ethereum's going to have the exact same problem. And Ethereum's going to have a lot more transactional use on it than Bitcoin is, because they have these fully fledged smart contracts. They have a bunch of projects on them. So they're going to filter out to different coins. Now, you know, like which coins are going to filter out into? I think some might go into BNB, but I don't think most of them will go into BNB. I don't think they're going to go into XRP, because people that actually want to use Ethereum aren't actually going to want to use a chain that doesn't have smart contracts and doesn't have DeFi. A lot of Ethereum people actually use it for that. So they're going to filter out into things like Solana, Cardano, Cosmos, Polkadot. Maybe like lower ones like HBAR will get some of the action as well. It just depends like how many. It just depends like how people actually see it. If KAS gets the smart contracts, some of the Bitcoin people might actually go into CAS. But remember, Bitcoin's ordinals are really hot right now, and that requires development on Bitcoin as well. Caspa doesn't have that yet, but it might be able to get that. And it is a proof of work stack on top of a DAG. So if they actually get the ability for smart contracts for next year, some of those Bitcoin transactions might actually come into KAS. You know, like all the others like HBAR, VET are in play as well. But I think like you're going to be looking at like the major blockchains with smart contracts, with DeFi, with staking as well, especially for the Ethereum users that want to leave Ethereum and want to go on something else. And obviously there's a layer 2s like Polygon, like Arbitrum, like Optimism that will actually boost up as well. So I think there's a fair amount of Ethereum users that are going to go into there, but a lot of the Ethereum Bitcoin users, they will actually go into like Solana, Cardano, Polygon, Dot, and others that have both staking and DeFi on their chain. And that's why I think like if you really want to set yourself up from the bull run right now, you shouldn't really be mostly in Bitcoin by now. Like I think it was great to be mostly in Bitcoin last year, but like by now you shouldn't mostly be in Bitcoin. You should actually be at least filtering out in some altcoins. I know some of you have suspicions, and if you want to wait until Bitcoin gets higher, I understand that. But I do actually think the time to switch has pretty much come upon us, and that Ethereum filed ETF kind of was like the trigger for it. And I do think like if ARK starts filing other ETFs like large cap ETFs, I think the alt market will actually come on very, very strong. So I think this is the official signal that the bull market has begun. Of course, it's not going to go straight up. There's going to be like slight dips every once in a while. It's not going to be a straight line. But overall, I think the bear market is over. The bull market, like the official bull market has started. Alts are going to stop losing so much value against Bitcoin, and the alt bull run is just around the corner. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.